Hey everyone. I have some good news because I was getting concerned. The thing is, I was getting really concerned about what I was going to do in regards to the issues I was having with Denerim. You guys saw it, right? The texture bug issues I was having, and then of course the hard crash I experienced. So I was doing some more testing in it, and it was still becoming an issue, except when I went to like the other alleyways in the city and the Pearl and such. It's only if I stayed in like the main market area of Denerim that I seemed to be having these issues. So, as usual, when I have an issue like this, I think, you know what? I'll bet there's a solution that somebody somewhere over the years has found to deal with these, because of course over the years tons of people have of course been doing things like modding the game, and I'm sure have been having various different kinds of issues technically when it comes to getting it to run properly, not necessarily in terms of compatibility with mods and other mods, but rather just do certain mods cause these kinds of issues to have, say, worse memory leakage, texture bugs, or even straight up crashing. And I was curious if other people had experienced this issue I was having. And of course, I found out people did. They were having these numerous kinds of crashing and Denerim issues, whether it was one issue or another. There was a mod called Improved Atmosphere that apparently was causing these kinds of issues. Now, I'm not using that, but I was kind of like, okay, I'm on the right track. I found people are having these issues. I wonder if someone's going to, bring up some kind of solution. Because, of course, various different people try different things. And looking at different forums and other things like that, I then came across this one post that somebody said where they were having those kinds of crash issues. They tried these other things that people had tried out, and it didn't work. But then they found a patch on a site that did something interesting and actually kind of is rather appropriate for the issue that this game has. And I'm going to link the patch. It's on a website in the description below. It's a site, I believe it's called ntcore.com, and it's referred to as the 4 Gigabyte patch. And what it essentially said in the description is that what this basically does is it adds like 4 gigabytes of virtual memory to the game. And as I mentioned before, this game is well known for memory leakage issues. And what they were saying was they were having constant crash issues. Once they use this patch, and the way it works is that it's supposed to add it to the .exe file. So once you download it, and you have to then find the .exe file. It's a little tricky to find for Dragon Age Origins, depending on where you install it or store it. But once you find it, you do that, and it goes ahead and links it to the file, and voila. So I did that, and I went through a test run in Denerim, and so far so good. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and head there right now? Because it seems as if that may have actually fixed the issues I was having. I will also let you guys know that I've actually been, I was testing doing some stuff, so I did some things in Denerim, nothing too important. So we'll just go ahead and take Morgan Zevran. And let's go ahead and keep bringing Sten. Okay. So, I should probably give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what did happen, because I was running around trying to get all the side quests from the Chanter's board over here, from the favors from the guy in the bar over there, the Blackstone Irregulars. I was trying to get all of those. The Mage's Collective over here as well. And I was basically, before the patch, I was like trying to, let me grab it, and now let me leave, let me grab it, let me leave. And even when I went into the bar, stuff started just bugging and glitching out. They started becoming black box or block textures. It was bad. So yeah,
but one world.
Up until this point, it was like, what's even when I was over here, I started seeing like the dog and kids were bugging, glitching out. And as you can see, so far, no issues. It seems like that patch really just adding that bunch of virtual memory. Now, I'm sure it probably did maybe something else as well. But you'd never be surprised that, people out there that don't work in the, they're not the official developers, like other different kinds of content creators and other modders and such, like what they can be able to do. Like, there's even like various patches that have been made just to improve like the stability of not just games like Dragon Age, but games like Skyrim and other games like that have been modded over the years. It continues to impress me that plenty of people just are able to do this on, with what they've got, what they have available to them, and that they are not the official people who worked on this. And I'm not just talking about Dragon Age here. I'm talking about various other games as well. And it's just something I want to just praise and applaud, just like the incredibly talented people out there in these communities and such that continue to put out really not just interesting content like mods and such, but helpful content. Stuff like these patches that help out various different people that experience these various different types of issues. And it's like, this is... I'm just so happy that there was somebody out there, or maybe it was multiple people, I'm not sure, that were able to create this, and they were like, oh yeah, you can apply this to various different things, including games. And I was like, this is like perfect for a game like this. It's just incredible. And this is why it's like, oh, if you have this kind of issue or problem, just try and search for something similar to what you're experiencing online. Like, I was experiencing crashes in Denerim, so what did I do? I went online, I searched Denerim crashes, and wouldn't you know it, that led me to some links to these forums and chat rooms of people discussing this very same issue that I was having. So, again, I'm going to link... The link to the patch is in the description below. Feel free to check it out if you yourself have been having these issues, especially if you want to use various different texture mods and other things of the sort for a game like Dragon Age Origins, but you're having like bugs or crashes when you go to a place like Denerim, because it is one of those areas that's very... volatile for these kinds of issues, and I'm so happy that I was able to discover this patch, and it just seems to have fixed my problems, and I'm really happy about it, because it's now going to allow me to actually show the game proper to you guys, because I was getting concerned to the point where I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to actually continue the game, because as you guys know, the game, really picks up later on when you get to Denerim, and then you end up spending quite a bit of time in Denerim for the stuff involving the lands, meat, and other stuff, and I was just like, I was getting so concerned that I wouldn't even be able to continue this playthrough if that was the case. But thank goodness for various different other people and players out there. I'm just really, really happy. Now, just to, again, give you guys an example. You notice so far we have been here for quite a while, and there's been no issues. Earlier, I walked in here. Now, that's not an issue because that's just a camera thing. But I would walk in here, and these waitresses would just immediately, like, their bodies would just kind of become these black block things. It was bad. And, like, the floor started, like, flashing and other stuff. You could tell it was having these kinds of problems and issues. And, I don't appear to be having those issues anymore. And I'm just... I'm so relieved, if anything. Not necessarily just happy, just more so relieved. So I highly encourage you that if you have been having any of these similar types of issues with a game like this that I've been having, this is probably not, not just applicable for a game like Dragon Age Origins. I'm sure this is applicable for many other games out there that maybe you just need to add some extra virtual memory that just wasn't part of the game before. You can look more into. They didn't just have this patch. They had a number of other little useful tools and such, which you can be able to head on over there and check that out. So yeah, I already took the missions and cleared these areas out. I had a little disagreement, however, with the guy who runs the city guard, where he told me, hey, don't kill the guys at the Pearl. Well, one of them said something wrong to me, and I ended up losing my temper, and they all died. And so he came back and he got all mad at me. I didn't like the tone he took with me, and thus he took that badly, and, well, I ended up having to kill him too. So, yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate thing. But now let's go to the Pearl, because I found this Grey Warden poster, and then we also have to go back to that bar that I was just showing you guys just a moment ago, because I got a letter from some kid saying that somebody in there wanted to talk to me. Also, hold on a moment. Nope, never mind. Hello, Sangha.
Welcome to the Pearl. I'm Sangha, the proprietor. Have a seat, get comfortable, and tell me what you need. Every one of my people here is a skilled craftsman, and don't let anyone tell you different. You'll have to go one at a time, I'm afraid. Our rooms aren't quite big enough to share between so many. But we can discuss that in a moment. So what would you like me to show you? The men or the women? Or some of both, if you prefer.
There's some kind of, yeah, if you pick the surprise me option, there's some very... What can happen is, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I noticed a poster that suggested I'd find a meeting of friends here. She scowls and makes a subtle notion towards the back rooms, as though not wanting to alert the people inside. Now who's this? Isabella?
And look who we have here. Come to apologize for leaving me bereft of my lord husband and then vanishing without a trace.
You know it was just business, Isabella. Business that turned out well for you, I see. You inherited the ship, I take it.
I suppose I never did like the greasy bastard. And the siren treats me far better than she ever did him.
Let's get this out of the way. Yes, this is the same Isabella from Dragon Age 2. And yes, she got a full makeover when she got to Dragon Age 2. Yeah. I don't mind the change because, in my opinion, what they did is they made her look more like as if she was someone who very much loves, being a sailor. She had the kind of sailor type of look to her, compared to here where she just kind of looks, I don't know, just kind of like, she looks almost no different than Zevran in terms of outfits and such, and, but then again, the leather armor is kind of a meh kind of thing in this game, so she looks more unique in 2, is what I'm saying, compared to how she looks here, so, I take it you two know each other?
Indeed. This is Isabella, Queen of the Eastern Seas and the sharpest blade in Lomerin. And Isabella, my dear, you will no doubt be amused to discover that I am traveling with a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? Charmed.
Well, your fighting skills were certainly impressive. You're the captain of a ship, I hear?
Yes, the siren's call. My pride and joy. She's seen me from my own Ravane and the Isle of Lomerin to the coast of Parvolan. All I need is my ship and the wind at my back. And once my men have had their fill of the pleasures of dry land, we will be off again. We are getting as far away from this blight as possible.
You're an excellent fighter, so why run away?
Hey, I'm not going anywhere near the blight, and you'd get away too if you had any sense in that pretty head of yours. The way I see it, I can sail as far away from it as I need to, even to the other side of the far Underfells. The sea will look after her own.
It was nice meeting you.
All right, I can see you're busy. Perhaps later then?
Micah, Chantry, Templars, whoever, save me! I could have handled it.
As you like.
Thanks. I think I need to go hide.
Now's better than later.
The Griffins will rise again.
Another Grey Warden supporter.
Not just a supporter, Payton. That's a Grey Warden. He's the one Arl Howe is looking for.
Our trap landed a Warden? You've got one chance to surrender.
So you work for Arl Howe? Well, then you're all dead.
I see enemies ahead.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
It's from Arl Howe, congratulates Payton's creative methods in capturing so many Grey Warden supporters. The Arl says the bounty per head will be increased to reflect Payton's stellar performance.
Yes. What? Is it customary where you're from to give complete strangers questions?
Welcome back. What can I get for you, honey?
Never mind.
Come again.
No, thank you.
All right, all right.
So yeah, I didn't do anything, like, important, like in Denerim. Like I said, I just did some of the bandit stuff, which is really not relevant or important. And I've been picking up little side quests, like tell the people of the Blackstone regulars that their spouses passed, or marking the doors of blood mages, or stuff like that. So, bag, go. Okay, return to the bartender. Well, I was just heading there to go speak to this mysterious person that sent me this letter. I wonder who could have sent it and why. Oh, he didn't say Dwarven Crafts. Fine Dwarven Crafts.
What can I get you, stranger?
I like how this guy doesn't even say anything when I do these quests.
What can I get you, stranger? The Darkspawn have attacked Lothering. I don't think everyone even had fled by the time they came, either. Word has it they swarmed the entire area, making off with prisoners and burning down the buildings, and then they were gone. Just as quick. I wonder if there's anyone left. I heard some chanters were going to head down south, maybe to try to find some survivors. I'm not holding out hope myself. Anything else you need?
Let me see what you have.
Right, I'll show you around.
Ayo! I have a lot of gifts. We should go to camp and deal with the gifts.
Stranger.
Grab this one. So yeah, the Crimson Ores are staying here. Now, of course I brought Zevran for this, because... Master Ignacio.
You hear about a note? Maybe we have some things we can talk about.
Just see the conversation stays civil. If this is a trap,
Zevran, is it? You are Talisan's responsibility. Other crows may try to kill you, but in my eyes, you're already dead. So, you are of no notice. But the Warden here, he is of great interest to me.
Now, I could actually just go ahead and kill him, but actually I kind of like some of the stuff we get to do because of what it leads to. It's actually kind of interesting, especially because it actually plays into what happens with the land's meat. I'm not kidding. But you were hired to kill me.
I can't stress enough that I wasn't hired to do anything. An associate was, and he's failed. And failed badly.
I'd like to see you do any better.
Do you take me for a fool? That's a contract I'd never take. A client can always hire more help, if the job isn't done the first time. But I am hoping we can make sure that doesn't happen.
It's worth noting that of course, is a hint that Zevran basically took a contract that many others would not have taken within the Antivan Crows. One, because they all thought it was an absurd contract that was not considered like, no, that's a ridiculous contract. No matter how much you're getting paid for, we're being asked to take down a really strong and skilled Grey Warden. We're not dumb enough to take that. We're gonna get killed. But Zevran at this point was kind of suicidal. And that has to play in with some of his backstory, which unfortunately you don't get to actually have unless you really follow through with the romance. which is kind of a shame that a bit of his actual story in this game is locked behind the romance. Just saying, that's kind of a bummer. Zevran, is this true?
I've only heard of the one time the entire House of Crows was hired for a job. A princely sum changed hands, and an entire noble family died. Not one soul survived. Ignacio has the right of it. Generally, it is one master, one job.
Okay, I'm listening.
Ferelden is a busy place. Blight, civil war, other mayhem. Lots of people not getting along. Sometimes they really don't get along. Maybe want to do something about it. The people that handle that sort of thing can get real busy.
So, you're hiring help?
You could say that. Not many people we can turn to. So, someone that's crossed our path and lived, well, maybe they could help out. Make some coin. Everyone wins.
So how does this work then?
I hand you a scroll. You read it, you learn about someone interesting. If you find out something happens to him, something unfortunate, then if we talk again, I give you money for letting me know. You don't like what's on the scroll, don't do anything. Maybe he has an accident and someone else tells me all about it.
If I do this for you, I want no more crows after me.
That I cannot do. One master has a contract on you. But if you help us out, maybe if that master asks for help, he'll just get silence. Yes?
Okay. Why all the innuendo? Wait, but we both know what this is about.
You can never be too careful. Can you blame someone for being circumspect?
Point taken. Hand me the scroll.
There you go. Makes for fine reading.
You're a cautious little weasel, Ignacio. What's your angle? If you're playing us false...
My dance is not for you. I need to be real honest sometimes. And I can say I haven't asked anyone to do anything. I've just given someone something interesting to read.
And you think that will save your hide when they nail it to a wall?
You are already dead in my eyes, Horsan. Take care that I don't learn otherwise. If that's all, luck be to you.
Information on someone that you've already killed. Payton.
Enjoy the reading?
Yeah, I have, I've already killed Payton.
What? You did what?
They set a trap for Warden sympathizers at the Pearl. I took care of it.
Your point isn't lost on me. You might want to look in the chest behind me. There might be something of interest.
Is that so? A couple more contracts. A teaming contract for the killing of a band of mercenaries called the Word of Caden Fay. And a contract for Ambassador Gainley. Interesting. The forest south of Denerim to look for a group of Qunari mercenaries. A contract to kill Ambassador Gainley, who is residing in the royal palace of Orzammar. Interesting. I like how it says, a servant to the employer of the crows will clean up the mess and make it look like he left Orzammar. Haha, yes, of course. I mean, that just makes total sense. These are professionals. The Antivan Crows are a very interesting organization of, I guess what you would consider legalized assassination. I know that sounds strange, but in various different fictional settings, this is actually a very common thing, believe it or not. How many of you are familiar with, oh gosh, what are they called? The Organization of Legalized Assassins in Elder Scrolls, specifically in Morrowind, because they're not really around in either Oblivion or Skyrim, but they are around in Morrowind. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You can even be able to join them and do quests for them. You get a writ of, to assassinate someone. If a guard, you immediately go to a guard, you hand in the writ showing you that you got a contract to take out this target, and they're like, okay. I forget what they're called, but I hope there are those of you who perhaps are more knowledgeable about Elder Scrolls and Morrowind that probably know exactly what I'm referring to.
As you like.
By the way, now that we have Zevran, I've actually become more inclined to want to keep him around instead of Leliana. For one thing, because, well, we had Leliana a whole bunch for the other run. I thought, well, we don't really get to take Zevran all that much. So why don't we actually get to have Zevran with us for a good chunk of this? Now, if you're wondering, is this like my go-to party for the rest of the game? Not entirely. I'm actually very much interested in the idea of when we get Oghren, that we'll switch out Oghren, or switch out Sten for Oghren. But I may go back and forth, just because I find it, kind of interesting to bring some of these characters that we don't usually have join us for these runs. Because the usual, I guess, good guy group you would have would be Alistair, Wynne, and Leliana. Whereas here, we get to have a group that's not very commonly used.
Let's see some blood. Now, better than later.
Victorious!
All right, all right.
So we may get to hear some interesting banter, specifically between Zevran and Morrigan. In fact, there was already a couple of bits of banter that we missed in Denerim, where he was like, "Oh, so you and the Warden, huh?" And she's like, "Yes. What is that? What are you implying, elf?" And I was like, just wondering what your game is. And she's like, "Oh, what do you think I'm doing besides the Warden?" And he's like, "Biding your time. But for what?
I'll get on it.
I do not know yet." So I think there's going to be some interesting banter between the two here. I just remembered, let's go to camp, because we have some gifts to give out. At least one in particular I know of. Like this one right here.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
Don't I even get a kiss?
I suppose something is deserved for all your efforts, is it not? Do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
So, obviously this goes to Leliana.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Some of these I can never remember who they're supposed to go to. Obviously the drinks go to Oghren when we get him. I just love his reactions, like, "By my ancestors, this is a wonderful gift!" He's so overjoyed.
So, full of questions, are you?
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you're cute and you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
I agree.
Oh, I hope you are not simply being agreeable. It would be a refreshing change. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away. What is there to speak of? Do you wish me to tell you how wonderful you are? Shall I say you are virile and manly?
I mean, I don't think any man would want to turn those kinds of compliments away. Suddenly I feel like I'm none of those things. Only if you really want to.
I prefer action over words. Why don't you prove it to me?
You are one saucy minx, you know that?
Aye, that is me indeed. What is it then that you wish to know so badly?
I want to know how we feel about each other.
How we... That is a rather tiresome topic. Enough. I have no patience for this sort of blather. If you wish to know something specific, I would prefer you ask it. Otherwise, leave me be.
Morgan. And Claudia Black, because, oh my goodness, that woman's wonderful voice acting. So, I need to give Morgan time. I'm still kind of on what to do next here. We could go to Soldier's Peak, because that gives us a number of things. By the way, I did actually have the Kal-El thing happen off camera. When I was doing the testing and kind of going back and forth, I found, I saw Kal-El land on Thetis and got the Star Metal thing, which means once we free up Soldier's Peak, that guy who can make the Star Metal sword will be available. So that's cool. Because on one hand, if I go Soldier's Peak, I can get the blood abilities. I probably won't ever use them, but I'll have them, which is cool. If we go do the Orzammar stuff, we'll get Oghren in our party for the rest of the game. Soldier's Peak is definitely faster to do compared to the Orzammar and Deep Road stuff. That's going to take us quite a while. And if you're like wondering, like, oh, could I be going there a little too early? I'm not really concerned about that because, for one, we're playing on the easiest difficulty. Two, I have been, using the skill books to constantly increase the stats and skills of myself and my companions. So I feel like we're going to be pretty well off doing that portion. Especially now that I am hopeful that the patch has fixed. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and test that right now. After all, that's part of what the point of this video is, right? That,
Indeed.
Yes.
I found this patch is supposed to help out. So let's go to the Frostback Mountains, and let's head to Orzammar, shall we? Just to keep the flow of what's going. There, of course, is still more stuff to unlock by talking to some of our companions and going to other certain places with them. Like, obviously, I still need to talk to Leliana to trigger her loyalty stuff about her backstory and the Marjolaine stuff.
I hear the mages of that tower off in the middle of Lake Callanhard all up and turned into a pack of demons.
No. What happened?
They're all dead. Templars killed them, I suppose.
Well, good on them, I say. Your mother...
What can I do for you?
I cut off Zevran. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly. Maybe it'll change, but my grandfather says...
Oh, I thought he was a vendor. Sorry.
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
I find it funny he's saying King Loghain when that's not what he is. He's the regent for Queen Honora. He's not the king. This guy is really deluded.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Why have your people treated like this?
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endrunai Dukan returned to the Stone Knot 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
I hope you guys remember what it was like when I did this on my first run as a dwarf noble and the reaction this guy had to seeing me. Where he's like, oh, it's you, the exile. Your father is dead. You know, that stuff. I am a Grey Warden and this treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
You know what? That's enough. Raise your blade. I'm getting tired of you referring to him as King Loghain and acting all uppity about being his appointed messenger.
I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Got it. Get on it.
Now's better than later.
Alright, Morgan. Let's give you some more willpower so you can have some more mana. Let's give her mana cleanse.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Fair journeys, Warden.
I'm sorry I keep cutting people off.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her.
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
All right, all right.
I am led to understand that the Qunari have their own mages as well. Is this so?
You would not understand.
Not understand? Is it mental capacity that you believe I lack? Or are you worried I will sympathize with my so-called brethren?
Take your pick.
Is that supposed to make me angry?
It means I find myself wishing that your people held proper, civilized attitudes towards magic.
That is a rather hostile thing to say.
And yet you continue speaking. Astonishing.
Yeah, Morgan, you do not want to know what they do to mages. Trust me. Welcome to Orzammar. Probably on par with Erebor from The Hobbit.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that soddy fool, I'll have him in the Legion. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
The proving?
Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Well, the Blight is coming, and I need Orzammar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Paragons?
Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaper.
Sounds like Balin and Harrowmont are the ones to talk to.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
I should get going.
Yes, you should.
Okay, then.
Now that is a remarkable amount of lava. Do you think anyone ever falls in?
Probably. I would not want to really think about it. Dagna!
Excuse me. You look like you're not from around here.
Can I help you?
I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Do you want me to ask them?
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Ferticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
I cannot tell you guys how happy I was when I first played Inquisition, and there she was, showing up as our new enchanter. And I was like, Dagnos! I was just so happy. I wanted to give her a hug. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen's... What was I saying?
Alright, let me see your shop. Oh, sorry.
I'm only asking. Right.
Ah, there it is. Remember the little story that Morgan told us about the mirror? I really want you all to pay attention to Claudia Black's voice acting in this segment here. Just really listen to her.
What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly.
Don't be ridiculous. It's a gift, Morgan.
You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift. Not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful. Truly.
Do I even need to add anything to that? Oh, just the incredible nuance in her voice acting. Just the hesitation, not knowing, and then trying to reassert control, and still trying to, oh, Claudia Black, you are wonderful. I love you so much. I'm a big fan of her voice acting. Can you tell?
No doubt leads.
There's a reason she keeps constantly getting voice acting jobs.
That once led to the other dwarven kingdoms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll be heading there later. Don't you worry. In the meantime... Oh, that's right. We can't do that yet. There's Dagna. There's Brother Burkle.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn.
Poor Filda.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
Who are you?
My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
He's missing?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Do you want me to look for him?
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden, it's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the Deep Roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Let's head to the Circle.
Now's better than later.
Now, this may be a little different, and obviously Irving isn't there. By the way, notice that it's a little longer in terms of the loading screens. Like I said, Orzammar is supposed to be just as bad when it comes to the memory leakage as Denerim. So the loading screens when you're here in Orzammar can get really long. I am so sorry, guys. I was talking and didn't even realize that they were chatting. I'm sorry. I keep cutting them off. I'm so sorry.
They got a new Terran of Denerim, I hear.
A Terran of Denerim?
What I was gonna say is, let's see if Gregor will be okay with having her come there. Now, some people are like, why would she want to go there? She can't cast. It doesn't matter. It's fascinating to her. Why wouldn't you want to at least study it? Just to kind of have the knowledge of knowing about it.
There is so much to be done here. It will be a long and arduous process. But thanks to you, the worst is past.
A dwarf named Dagna wants to come here to study magic.
A dwarf? Studying magic? Such a thing is unheard of. The dwarves have no connection to the Fade and magic. Likely she's been taken in by fantastic stories about the wonders of magic. More fiction than fact. The Circle is in no shape to take apprentices, let alone dwarven tagalongs. Her childish dreams of magic will have to suffice. May they give her comfort.
Gregor has refused Dagna's request. Return to Dagna and inform her of the bad news. Poor Dagna. I hope this doesn't affect whether or not I can actually get her an Inquisition. I certainly hope not.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the Circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said.
You're gonna have to bring your petition to the Templars. They're in charge now.
Then I will. I'll go right now. I'll do whatever it takes, just to be there. Thank you for asking. That's more than anyone else has done for me.
Dagna's left for the Circle of Magi. She was very grateful. I hope that's enough to get her to show up in Inquisition. I don't know if she actually can't show up in Inquisition or not. I hope it is. Because, of course, I want her there. She's actually kind of helpful in at least one of the big quests there.
Cave-dwelling people would create their spirit.
Okay. As much as I would like to go ahead and kind of keep sticking around Orzammar here and do that stuff right now, I'm actually kind of feeling like we should go ahead and do the Soldier's Peak DLC, especially now that I have actually figured out the issue to fix the bug that I was encountering with Avernus, where he just wouldn't start the summoning thing, and then someone said, no, use the fireball and just kind of knock him into place and it'll start it. I did it again. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that's one of those sections where they actually have the banter. So I completely cut them off. I'm so sorry, guys.
Wager all these elves are working with the Darkspawn.
But can you obviously tell how much smoother things are running here right now after this patch? I'm so glad I found this patch. Okay, so... Let's go ahead and head back to camp. And I will do some prepping. Probably go to the house to store stuff away since I can't do it at Soldier's Peak yet. Oh!
Grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found?
Yes. What did you find?
'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands. But this is not it.
You look disturbed.
Disturbed? Yes, perhaps that is the right word. One thing in particular within her writings disturbs me. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries.
A spell of immortality?
Oh, if only 'twere so. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own.
So then why would she risk sending you with me?
I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said, the Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else. Or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in.
So then if you died, she would have another daughter?
Not by any natural means. Perhaps I should take this as a vote of confidence from her on my capabilities. Or perhaps she simply wished me gone from the Korkari wilds so she could prepare her ritual in peace. A disturbing thought.
You had no idea? I'm so sorry.
Do not be sorry. I am not. I am angry. There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it.
And of course, just a reminder, this is why she asks Hawke at the beginning of Dragon Age 2, because at this point she has already encountered Hawke on the way out of Lothering, since Lothering has already been destroyed. She's already went and saved Hawke from her, and her family from the Darkspawn, and has asked her to do that favor of delivering that amulet to the Dalish elves and Marithari over in Kirkwall, and has dropped them off at Gweren to take the ship to Kirkwall. That's already happened at this point, timeline-wise, because Flemeth anticipated this was going to happen, so that way she could be able to continue on. I love that when we ask her about it in Dragon Age 2, she says something like, must I be in just simply one place? Bodies are such a fleeting thing. The implication that she only needed a small piece of herself to keep surviving. So that even if we do kill her in this game, she continues on, which is why we then encounter her later in Inquisition. So I just really kind of like that. So why do you need my help?
Because if she is slain while I am near, I am not certain that she will not simply be able to take possession of me right there. So obviously I cannot be the one to do it.
Perhaps you should talk to her about this first?
And what would that do? At best, I would receive pointless reassurances. At worst, Flemeth would imprison me once she became aware I know what I do. I know my mother well enough to be confident she would show no mercy when it came to her own survival. I must do the same.
You know, I gotta say, one of my absolute favorite moments in Inquisition is when she wants to defend her son from Flemeth, and she says, "I will not be the mother to him that you were to me." That whole scene, it was just amazing for me. Like, I loved that scene. That was just such a great scene with Morgan and Flemeth. Isn't that a little extreme?
It may seem so. If you think of Flemeth as a mother, think of her instead as an ancient abomination that intends to use her own flesh and blood to extend her life beyond all natural limits. She did not wish anyone to get a hold of this information, least of all me. Now I have. If I do not act on what I know, then more the fool am I.
Very well. I'll help you.
Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Kakari Wilds without me. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours.
I'll see what I can do.
I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Okay. Now that that's been picked up, we're going to go ahead and cut it off here. And when we return, we will probably just go ahead and take care of the Soldier's Peak DLC before we start working on more of the Orzammar stuff, since, of course, I want to get Oghren pretty quickly. Now, I've considered going ahead and doing the Orzammar stuff, getting Oghren, maybe taking Oghren with us to Soldier's Peak, but as far as I know, there's really no reason to do so. Sten will serve just fine. So, more than likely, when we come back, we will be heading to Soldier's Peak to reclaim it for the Grey Wardens. Stay tuned.